Yeah, man, it's wild, man. Like, so Wrestle Kingdom 18, they just came out with like a list of some of the top matches today. Did you happen to see this list, James?
Yeah, I saw the list. I also saw people defending the list, and I'm like, there's no need to defend the list. Like, if it draws, it draws, and I've heard it's drawn a lot better than it did last year. And I also like to point out, like, that's great. We're also like coming straight off of like restrictions for
Oh,
people to come moving and coming in. So like whatever.
amazing
And
how that
it's like,
works.
wow. So you mean to tell me that Tetsuya Naito versus Sonata is more over than Jay White in the main event of a Tokyo Dome?
Who knew?
Shocker.
Who knew that
What a
that
fucking
would be the
shocker!
case?
Who could have foreseen that that Sonata was more over than Jay fucking White? We knew this in Japan. The fuck? What?
Oh
But what about the card? Does it jump off the page? Oh, you
no,
want to pretend it does? Okay, fine, whatever, John.
a lot of cap going
I
on.
love John Promasake, but like, bro, it's it's another. It's part 45 of Desperado versus Hiromu. We've seen all of them.
Hey yo,
It's always a good ass match, but they're not going to top that G1 final or like the Best Super Junior finals. Never happening.
yeah, that's
Right?
it.
Yeah, yeah. Even though Hiromu's had an incredible bounce back year, whatever. Like having the 3-way for the US slash UK title.
That shit is a tragedy.
No one wants David Finlay there. That
Tragic.
stinks. And then you know, you got
Hold on,
Danielson.
before we do
Go
that,
ahead.
this is not only a tragedy from the standpoint of no one wants to see a 3-way, no one wants to see David Finlay. This is possibly Will Ospreay's last Wrestle Kingdom as a full timer or whatever.
Yeah.
This could be say this is his last Wrestle Kingdom ever. Who knows? And it would be this that he's going out on, right? It's a waste of John Moxley. This is this is also like a waste of like Ospreay's year, half year, anything that doesn't have to do with like Kenny Omega. Because I'm like, where the fuck did Ospreay Omega 3 go? Like, was that like a figment of my imagination? Maybe, I guess so. Yeah, and then it's like they're introducing a new title too, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, they're bringing back the Intercontinental title belt." I'm like, "Bro, they're gonna debut a new fucking belt. They're not gonna go back to that other design that we all like. They're not doing that." So it's like, they're getting rid of the red belt. That fucking stinks. I think Kenny and Will bust their ass making that belt mean something. So they're just getting rid of it. So yeah, that seems like a waste. You mentioned Okada and Danielson.
Yeah, Okada Danielson, like that's a match for us, just much like the Omega and Ospreay match was for us last year, or the Jericho and Omega match was for us in 2018.
But
That is the international match.
I'm like, yeah, man. I hope Bryan Danielson comes back in one piece. This man prone to get hurt.
I will say this on commentary on Dynamite. Excalibur said that he's expected. That they expect him back at the end of the year, as if he'll be back before January 4th.
I could probably picture that.
No, I'm just saying, in case we wonder, how long is he going to be out with the orbital bone thing? Is maybe not like to where he gets cleared on January 1st, hops his ass on the plane, then goes, and then he's there, a day later.
I think also I didn't talk about the finish for the 3-way. Presumably Will Ospreay's on his way out the door. I don't know what happens there.
Right.
But David Finlay kind of has to win this, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's going on Moxley.
Look,
it could.
Look, I'll say this. John Moxley's not taking a pin here.
No, absolutely not.
So that leaves only one real option. Ospreay's not staying. So is Finlay just going to pin? See why? It's like, why is Moxley even here then? It's like, what the fuck? Gato, what are you doing? What are you doing, Gato? Answer me. God damn it. Okada and Danielson. Gotta say, man, excited to see it. not thrilled, not over the moon to see it. I always figured it would kind of head here. And even before the injury, where Danielson breaks his arm like that, I don't think we got like it wasn't like that, but maybe it'll be like that this time. So
yeah, I think it'll be.
I'll leave it up to them.
I think like he will work more of a style more conducive to like what happened with him and Sabre. Obviously, I think it'll work better as far as Okada and their chemistry. It seemed like if you watch their tag match that they had a couple weeks ago, like their chemistry was so much better than it was even in that match that they had at Wrestle Dream. So for me, they got me to be reinvested in the match on January 4th.
Junior match: Francisco Akira, TJP, Clark Connors, Drill Maloney. It's a junior one that should be pretty good. But yeah. IWGP World Heavyweight Title, Sonata versus Tetsuya Naito. And I just got to say, I'm never going to love this as much as people think we should or whatever. I feel like I know what both of these guys are capable of. They're a lot older now than when I first started watching them both.
Yeah. Also, another thing about it is John is a huge Naito fan. And I think he is misguidedly defending the Naito thing when it's like, Naito being in the main event of Tokyo Dome ain't the problem. It's Sonata. This is a Sonata issue. Like, if you put look, given what they've done in the G1 the last 2 years, would anybody have a problem if it was Ospreay versus Naito? No, absolutely not. If they want to do it's been too many times they've done it so lately, but they want to do Okada and Naito again in the Dome for the 4th or 5th time they've done it. No one would have batted an eye at it because those two top stars, whatever. This the Sonata part that is that people aren't attracted to. People still recognize that when Naito wants to, he's still one of the best wrestlers in the world. That's not the issue. It's just the Sonata thing. It is what it is. It's a guy that needs to have the best match of his career, and if you don't have the legacy game, then he needs to never be anywhere by the main event again. Not another New Japan Cup, not another G1 final, none of that.
I think Josh on Keeping It Strong Style said this best. He kind of made a comment in passing about Sonata being Ronnie Garvin and Tetsuya Naito being Ric Flair, and that's exactly what this is. I saw this and I stopped everything I was doing, and I was like, yes, that's that's what this is. This is Ronnie Garvin and his boring ass giving the belt to the real. Hurry up and get the Starcade and give the belt back to Ric Flair. That's what we're dealing with here.
That's a good one. It really is.
And I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah, y'all can pretend if you want. That's fine. I guess I'll take my ass to sleep after Okada Danielson. Look, either I'm gonna fall asleep or he gonna put me to sleep. I make my life choices. Fuck that. But
you plan on watching it live?
I mean, I watched half of last year's show live. But admittedly, there ain't no Ospreay versus Omega on this thing. But there is Danielson Okada. I might wake up early and check that out. But I gotta agree with my man Ibu. It ain't jumping off the page. Call us Westerners, blah 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 blah. I'm saying we can lay these cards down by year.
Look, they sold better. They are ahead on tickets compared to last year. I think that's more to do with the most popular domestic stars in the main event and can win the title, can finally do their fucking roll call. That's definitely a factor of it. And also, we are a year removed from the restrictions when people were still, wanting to making a decision on whether or not they want to go place or not in Japan or not. We are a year past that, so they should do better. And then they also put one of their two biggest stars in the main event to win the belt.
Look,
so yeah,
we don't have to pretend like he's wrestling Shingo Takagi for the title in 2 months. We don't have to pretend like Tetsuya Naito is fighting. We don't have to
keep pretending that Jay White last year is Kenny Omega. We still doing this?
Like we ain't gotta pretend like
jumping off the page is like, look, man, last year's card did jump off the page. The main event did not.
yeah. Yeah, the minute like we called in
This
real
year,
time.
the entire card doesn't jump off the page. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Like comparing it, contrasting to say like, but where the other was like, no. Last year's main event ain't off the page neither. We've seen that a million times too.
Yeah, and I don't know, like it's almost like the more things change, the more they kind of stay the same. Because it's like I've seen them be early on guys, and I've seen them put guys in spots where it's like, damn, this is what they really doing at the Dome. Like, and they're putting Tanahashi with Okan when Okan first came back, and it was like, we got to watch Okan with Tanahashi, but then it turned out decent. But they put Jay White in there with Tanahashi, right? I'm like, all right, where the fuck is Yota Tsuji? Like, like that's who we want to see. Like, you know,
what is
if it was Yota Tsuji versus Tetsuya Naito, like in the Dome, right? I don't think we would be like, ooh, we would be like, yeah, I'm trying to see it. But
I mean,
we don't have to lie about Sonata. I don't know why.
Mean, yeah, I would like to see that, but you know what I wouldn't want to see? I wouldn't want to see Shota versus Naito after what they did earlier this year.
Yeah, because
that wasn't.
I mean, you know, Tetsuya Naito, he prone to try on his terms only. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
You think I'm about to go out here and help new Tanahashi? No.
Right. Like
I was new Tanahashi.
Like where the fuck is?
Look what I had to do. I had to go the long way. No.
Like where the fuck is Shota Umino? Where the fuck is Yu Uemura? Where the fuck is Yota Tsuji? And it's like. They may be added later.
Say again?
They may be added later, right? And you know,
stuff gonna be added
later, Shingo's
definitely.
A champion right now. Saber's a champion, so they're gonna need opponents and all that shit, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm not worried about, but yeah.
But it's like this is kind of the first thing we're getting attention with. Usually there's
the first
something
block of matches, yeah. The first wave of matches.
You would think something for some of those people. I guess, you know, do we really want to count David Finlay as the person? I'm sorry. There was a great comment, I think it was from Brewhaven.
Like the worst Bullet Club leader?
Right. It was a great comment from he was like, does Gato think all white men are the same? Like, like it was like, yeah, man, Kenny Omega, Jay White, David Finlay, all the same thing. Like,
Rich, we've known the answer to this has been for like over 5 years.
Yo,
they said they went from what was it, Finn Balor to AJ Styles to Kenny Omega, and then after Kenny Omega, they said we're gonna throw in fresh face, baby face, Miles Teller looking in the face ass Jay White, and then we went from there to David Finlay.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's
Gato is out here acting like this is Theodore Long's 5-minute white boy challenge. Any white boy out the crowd come out here and be the leader of Bullet Club. Any white boy.
Yeah. So I'm stunned by the use of Ospreay here, and you know, stunned, kind of saddened, and then like if this is it for him there, and Lord forbid Will Ospreay decides to end his career and sign with WWE or something, and then it's like this is how we wrapped it up. This past 6 months, like where like he was just not used as the biggest and best star he could be, like as the world champion. Nothing. Okay.
At the end, it doesn't end with a bang, but with a whimper.
Sick. Yeah. So.
But I will say this, like, the idea is funny. Like, they send out they send out AJ Styles, like in the semi-main event against Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
Right in the Dome. They send out Kenny Omega in the main event of the Dome against Tanahashi. And then they send out Jay White in the main event against Okada in the Dome. And what does Will Ospreay do? What do they give Will Ospreay? Yeah, bro. Like you're gonna be like fifth from the top. We're gonna put you fifth from the top, and you gotta go out here and eat the pin for David Finlay. Get the fuck out of here. In a 3-way match.
This is sick.
Nasty work, nasty business.
This is sick. Oh my God, Gato. Bro, did Will do something? Like what did Will do? He don't deserve this. Sick, disgusting, nasty. Wow, be British. Damn. Yeah, man. Every time I look at this, I keep looking at this match graphic, and I'm like, I just see that 3-way, and I'm like, you can't be serious. You can't be serious. Like, what is
like
this?
I think it'll be a good match because obviously they'll make it work. But like honestly, like for me, it's like John Moxley works better as a singles wrestler than in a 3-way match.
Like, hey man, how about they just make David Finlay kneel in the middle of the ring, get hidden bladed, and lay outside the ring for 25 minutes, and then come back in when it's time for the end? How about we try that?
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
Just lay there, hang out,
yeah, man.
enjoy the view of the dome.